When's the last time we've seen a season similar to Kawhi Leonard's in 2019? I'll answer that for you. Never. Kawhi spent 1 year as a Toronto Raptor and accomplished more than most players do in their entire careers. He delivered one of the all-time great playoff runs, had moments that will forever be etched in NBA history, brought a title to a team that seemed destined to never win one, and cemented his legacy as one of the game's all-time greats. He did all of that in 1 year. 2019 Kawhi was a singularity, a one-of-a-kind season that words can't even describe. You had to see it to believe it. I felt like I was living in an alternate timeline the first time I saw Kawhi in a Raptors jersey. It was crazy, almost as crazy as the series of events that got him here in the first place. It was Game 1 of the 2017 Western Conference Finals. Kawhi and the Spurs were torching Golden State's newly formed super team, up by 21 points in the third quarter. For the first time in these playoffs, the Warriors didn't seem invincible, but right as that thought began to cross our mind, disaster struck.
Leonard fires from the corner. Leonard goes down again. And he's in pain again in front of the Spurs bench.
Zaza Pachulia's foot slid right beneath Kawhi's as he landed from a jumper, spraining his left ankle. He'd leave the game and miss the rest of the series as the Warriors rallied to win Game 1 and sweep the Spurs on their way to a title. It was a devastating blow for the franchise, but this was just the beginning. As Kawhi rehabbed his ankle during the offseason, a mysterious quad injury came out of nowhere, sidelining him for most of the following season, and it was all downhill from there. Leonard chose to rehab with his own team instead of San Antonio's. Reports then surfaced that there was a rift between Kawhi and the franchise. The Spurs pleaded for him to return to the lineup, but to no avail. Tony Parker threw shots at him in the media, and that was the breaking point. During the offseason, Kawhi demanded a trade, preferably to the Lakers, but San Antonio didn't budge. Kawhi was sent across the continent, up north, to the Toronto Raptors, a team he had no desire to play for, but with 1 year left on his contract and no leverage, he was stuck there. So yeah, that's how Kawhi got into a Raptors jersey, a sight I thought I'd never see in my entire life. The Kawhi era in Toronto is about to begin. It took virtually no time for Kawhi to make an impact on his new team, with a 24-point double-double on opening night, followed by 31 and 10 against Boston just 2 nights later. The dude was motivated. He was going to be a problem when he was playing. See, Kawhi would sit out the very next game to manage that quad injury, also known as load management, and this was the beginning of it all. The plan was for Leonard to sit out back-to-backs throughout the season to make sure he was healthy in time for the playoffs. And the Raptors were cool with it. Plus, the extra rest proved beneficial because in just his 4th game with his new team, he showed Toronto what it's like to have a true superstar.
Here's Leonard on the move. Wiggins' clock is down. Powers at. Now back over to Leonard for 3.
Thanks are excellent. Great. Oh my goodness, what a play. Overplay. Oh my goodness, what a tremendous play. Dives to the hoop.
Leonard, how about? Clock down. Leonard now making a move. Fading. Shot good. He's got 33.
35 points, 10 of them in the 4th, clutch buckets late, and a no-look steal? I don't know what else to call it. I've never seen that before. Just a few games later, he'd go off for 25 and 11 against the Kings to put the Raptors' record at 12 and 1 to start the season. It was about as perfect a start as you can imagine. Kawhi was fitting into this team like a glove, and they were put to the test right away. On November 29th, we'd get a sneak peek at a potential finals matchup. Warriors versus Raptors in Kawhi's first game against Golden State since the injury, and the dude sent a message. He exploded for 37 in a 3-point overtime win against the 2-time defending champs. And the Claw's monster revenge game really got him going. In his next game against the Cavs, he erupted for 34-9, then 36 points, 9 boards, and 5 steals in a win against the Sixers, capped off by 32 against Brooklyn, including a patented left-handed poster all over Jarrett Allen. The Claw was rolling, and as soon as the calendar flipped to 2019, something clicked inside of Kawhi. He was ready to go to work, and it started right away on January 1st.
Step up. Got it. Kawhi drives by and one.
So take those layups.
Kawhi, the reverse with the left. How sweet it is.
Speed and quickness, but you never rush. Yeah. So tough shot.
Leonard, quick move, driving on angles. Kawhi Leonard. Crowder has that's a Kawhi 30. Wow. Leonard, oh, what a shot.
Kawhi put on a clinic against Utah, erupting for 45 points, with 30 of them in the second half to mark the highest scoring performance of his career. But that excitement was short-lived. Just 2 nights after his career performance, Kawhi was making his return to San Antonio for the first time since his trade demand, and the response he got from the crowd was expected.
6'7" forward from San Diego State, number 2, Kawhi Leonard.
Trying to pick up the wonder. Trader.
They booed him, called him a traitor, and then chased him out of the building with an 18-point win. It was a nightmare. So what was Kawhi's response to this? Well, he went on an absolute heater. Over his next 7 games, the Claw torched the league, averaging 31 points, 7 boards, 4 dimes, and 3 steals on ridiculous efficiency. I'm telling you, dude, this guy was a robot. Kawhi would hit you with a nasty fadeaway to tie the game with 7 seconds left and not even crack a smile. He'll put you on skates, hit you with a disgusting fake, score, and then stare into the abyss. He'll come down the court at full speed, put some dude in a body bag, and evoke no emotion whatsoever. The Claw was a cold-blooded killer. I mean, even on a game winner, the most he'll get out of him is a fist pump. In a game where he dropped 30 points, 8 assists, and a game-winning bank shot, all we got was a goddamn fist pump. What is it gonna take for this fun guy to show some emotion? Maybe a more exciting game winner? Let's see.
And Leonard gets the rest of 10. And Kawhi ends the drought. And Wilson, there he goes right by the guy again. There it is. Whistle and one! Oh, Kawhi! Gets switched on to him. Kawhi for the win! Oh, that's the ball game! Raptors win it! Kawhi Leonard!
All it took was 38 points and a game winner that danced on the rim before dropping for Kawhi to show any sign of emotion. An insane bounce that you rarely see on a baseline shot, let alone a game winner. Thanks to Kawhi, the Raptors secured their 46th win of the season, and they were on cruise control for the rest of the year, finishing the season with a 9-point win over Minnesota to secure the 2nd seed in the East. Toronto was primed for a deep playoff run, and I'd like to remind you that the regular season was just a warm-up for Kawhi. All that load management was for this moment. The Claw was about to take over. In round 1, Kawhi and the Raptors would face the lowly 7-seed Orlando Magic, and they made quick work of them. After a stunning loss in Game 1, Toronto answered with 4 straight wins to move on to round 2 and face an absolutely loaded 76ers squad, and the Claw made his imprint on the series immediately.
Philly 31-20. Kawhi Leonard. 7-0 first by Philly. Leonard in for the Leonard looking to weave his way. He does. Beautiful spin. Leonard squares and hits in 6.
Kawhi was unstoppable with his 3-level scoring on full display, pouring in 45 points and 11 rebounds on absurd efficiency. You want to make a statement in the first game of a series? This is how you do it, except it had nearly no effect on the Sixers. Philly pulled out a huge 5-point win in Game 2 to tie the series at 1, and back home they caught fire to beat the brakes off the Raps by 21 and go up 2-1. In the past, this is where the Raptors would falter, lose confidence, and allow their opponent to take control of the series. But this year, they have a weapon in their back pocket, and he showed out. The Claw was a beast in Game 4, torching Philly for 39, 14, and 5. The dude was unguardable. However, they're only up 1 with about a minute to go. But like I said, they have a weapon.
He switches, fires a long one. Nothing but net. Kawhi not.
Kawhi drills a colossal 3 over Joel Embiid to push their lead to 4, and that would do it. The series is tied at 2, headed back to the north. Toronto and Philly would go on to split games 5 and 6 at home, forcing a do-or-die Game 7 in the 6. It all came down to one game, and this is the exact reason why the Raptors traded for Kawhi. They desperately needed a superstar to come up clutch in big games with everything on the line. And the Claw not only came up clutch, but he completely took over.
Defends on the perimeter.
Inbounder here if you're Philly.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger? Game! Series! Toronto has won!
I swear this was straight out of a movie. A shot that bounced on the rim for what felt like an eternity dropped through to win the series for Toronto, making it the only game-winning Game 7 buzzer beater in NBA history. When Kawhi is showing emotion, you know something crazy just happened. On top of the fact that he poured in 41 points with 15 of those in the fourth quarter, he was the definition of clutch. Kawhi delivered, and they're off to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the first-seeded Bucks and the MVP. Milwaukee was a serious problem. Leonard scored 31 in each games 1 and 2, yet the Raptors found themselves down 0-2 in the series. Adjustments had to be made, and the Claw was all over it. After their loss in Game 2, Nick Nurse came into the locker room and said, "We're making adjustments," to which Kawhi spoke up and said, "The adjustment is, I'm guarding Giannis," and walked out. That moment, that short quote and display of confidence completely altered the trajectory of this series. Back at home in Game 3, Kawhi lived up to his promise, holding Giannis to just 12 points on 5 of 16 shooting, as he went crazy for 36, 9, and 5 to get his team back in the series. And in Game 4, Toronto pulled out an 18-point win to tie the series at 2, headed back to Milwaukee, where Kawhi put on a show. He killed the Bucks on their home court in Game 5 with 35, 7, and 9, including a 15-point fourth quarter to put his team just one win away from the finals. And by this point, there was no doubt that the best player in the world would get it done.
Trying to go to his left, pulls it back. Leonard working hard to locate shots and hit. Giannis about 2 of 3 from downtown. Leonard again. The back and lost it. Lowry with the steal. He has Giannis behind him. Gets to Leonard. A faithful by Kawhi Leonard.
24 seasons in the making. The Toronto Raptors are ahead
27, 17, and 7 in Game 6, including a facial all over Giannis as the exclamation mark to get the Raptors to the NBA Finals, where he'll get an opportunity at revenge.
Leonard goes down again.
This was a full circle moment for Kawhi, facing the Warriors in the postseason for the first time since Zaza Pachulia slid under his foot and set into motion the series of events that landed him in Toronto. And with Golden State on the cusp of a three-peat, Kawhi can get the ultimate revenge. In Game 1 though, he was relatively quiet with just 23 points, but Toronto rallied to win by 9 and take the lead in the series. However, in Game 2, the Claw was locked in. With a chance to go up 2-0, he dropped 34 points and 14 rebounds. But with a clutch dagger late from Iguodala, Golden State came away with the win to tie the series at 1, headed back to the Bay. After the Game 2 loss, Nick Nurse spoke to the team, announcing that the goal was to split their next 2 games on the road. Kawhi did not agree. He got up and said, "F that, let's get them both." And well, the man lived up to his word.
Leonard gets away from Ben. Oh, and throws it down with a foul. Leonard for 3. Knocks it down. Leonard, no hesitation. Line drive is another big road win for Toronto. 4. Only 4 for Toronto. Leonard. His team down by 11. Hits again. Kawhi Leonard. Van Fleet. Leonard jumper. Got it. Here in this hostile arena. Leonard open 3. Knocks it down. Leonard pull-up jumper. Puts it in. Kawhi Leonard dominating right now.
The Claw was a force in Game 3 with 37 and 7 and then said "F it" in Game 4, dropping a bomb with 36 points, 12 boards, 2 dimes, and 4 steals to lead his squad to a commanding 3-1 series lead. Kawhi stayed true to his word, and they'll have a chance to win the championship at home. Game 5 was an absolute war the whole way through, as Toronto found themselves down 2 with just over 5 minutes left. The title was hanging in the balance, and the Claw smelt blood. Kawhi exploded for 10 points in just 2 minutes to put the Raptors up by 6. The crowd was going crazy. They were just moments away from being crowned champions, until they got smacked in the face. In the blink of an eye, the Splash Bros scored 9 straight points to put Golden State back on top, and they never looked back. Everyone was stunned, and were headed back to the Bay for a Game 6. Kawhi thankfully had another shot to capture the title and cap off this historical season, but just like Game 5, Game 6 came down to the final moments. With less than 10 seconds left, the Warriors have possession with a chance to take the lead and force a Game 7, but with a miss, Kawhi gets the job done. Curry comes off a pick, gets a good look from deep, but can't get it to go. Off the rebound, Draymond Green gets possession, calls for a timeout that they don't have, and Kawhi Leonard is sent to the line to put the finishing touches on one of the greatest playoff runs in league history. 2019 Kawhi was unexpected. It was a legacy-defining season that truly can't be compared to anything we've ever seen. Everything happened so quickly, and yet it was a moment that was years in the making.
Leonard fires from the corner. Leonard goes down again.
Kawhi Leonard out officially for the Spurs season opener on Wednesday. The Spurs are shutting down Kawhi Leonard indefinitely.
Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio, is what I'm hearing.
Can't happen. The Raptors agree to attain Kawhi Leonard.
For the win! Oh! This the dagger! Giannis behind him, just let it be! Also here to cheer on. Leonard makes it official. Now the Warriors just inbound, and that's it. There's a new NBA champion, and it's a team from Toronto, Canada. We, the North, are now we, the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
Your 2019 Bill Russell Finals MVP is Kawhi Leonard.